They started behind the wheel, but they didn't stop there. These Uber drivers didn't just make a living. They made a fortune, not by chance, but by hustle, strategy, and sometimes a little bit of magic. Today, we dive into the true stories of Uber drivers who went from rideshare to riches and the mindset that took them there. Carlos was a 29-year-old Uber driver from Miami who drove 8 hours a day. But it wasn't the driving that made him rich. It was what he listened to during every ride. Audiobooks on investing, entrepreneurship, and digital marketing. While others saw Uber as a job, Carlos saw it as a classroom on wheels. After 1 year of driving and learning, he launched a simple dropshipping store using Shopify. It failed. So did the second one. But the third, it hit 6 figures in 8 months. He told himself every ride was a step nearer to his goal, not just for money, but for his mindset. He wasn't just taking people places, he was going somewhere too. By year 3, he was making $35,000 a month and still driving Uber a few hours a week just to stay grounded. Because he knew success doesn't come from the road, it comes from the ride within. In 2017, Priya, a single mom in New Jersey, picked up a passenger who changed everything. A quiet tech guy who tipped her in Bitcoin. At first, she thought it was a scam. Then she researched. Then she invested. With every $50 she saved from driving, she bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, and later Solana. She didn't try to time the market. She just committed every week without fail. By 2021, her $14,000 in contributions had grown to over $1.2 million. She sold half, bought a house, started a tutoring business, and kept driving Uber on weekends. Driving paid the bills. Crypto changed the game. She didn't gamble. She studied, stacked, and stayed patient. Malik was a former warehouse worker who started driving Uber to escape the grind. But Malik was different. Every passenger was a networking opportunity. He kept a QR code on the back seat linking to his ebook on fitness, a passion he'd been quietly building. In 2020, one of his workout tips filmed from his car went viral on TikTok. That 45-second clip turned into a 100,000-follower channel. Then, a full-time business. Now he sells fitness plans, merch, and online coaching. He used the car to pitch. His trunk had resistance bands for sale in it. His back seat had books. Uber gave him people. He gave them purpose. Today, Malik clears over $20,000 a month in digital income, all because he treated every ride like a personal brand opportunity. Ella was a 54-year-old Uber driver who never made more than $40,000 a year. But she had one rule: never touch her Uber money. Ella's husband had a good job and their house was mortgage-free. Every dollar she made driving went into dividend stocks and real estate investment trusts. She didn't chase big wins. She chased habits. The car was her investment fund. The market was her freedom. Over 8 years, she quietly built a portfolio worth $850,000. She called it her rideshare retirement fund. Every day she drove not just for passengers but for her future. Jamal was a software engineer turned Uber driver after a layoff in 2020. With time on his hands and bills to pay, he started taking coding gigs between rides. One day, after dropping off a frequent passenger frustrated with public transit, he had an idea: build a simple transit app tailored for his city. He worked on it every night for a year, released it for free. Within months, local users were raving. Transit companies took notice. 2 years later, Jamal sold the app for a reported $2.3 million. From unemployed to unstoppable, all because he turned traffic time into building time. He figured if he had to sit in a car for 8 hours, he might as well be driving his future along too. Maria, a former school teacher turned Uber driver, started recording advice between rides, not on life coaching or hustle tips, but on parenting. Her videos were raw, honest, and filled with stories from the front seat. Within 6 months, she had 50,000 subscribers. Within a year, YouTube was paying her more than Uber ever did. Now she has a podcast, a published book, and a brand that started in the driver's seat of her Toyota Corolla. She thought she lost her voice when she left teaching, but it turns out She just needed a new classroom. These are not fairy tales. These are blueprints from real people in real cars, making real moves. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for the perfect time. They took what they had, where they were, and built something bigger. So what do they all have in common? They didn't just drive. They overcame roadblocks and moved forward to a new future. Every Uber ride might just be a millionaire in motion. And if you're watching this, maybe, just maybe, that next millionaire is you. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to get notified of our next videos. Thank you for watching.